completely different depending which day you go onto it. As a junior doctor, you've got a few roles and responsibilities that are you're expected of you when you're on the wards. Junior doctors are often seen as the ones that know most about the patients on your ward. Some of the other sort of your colleagues, your consultants, your senior doctors spend time in theatres or clinics, whereas as a junior doctor you're on the ward the entire time, and you're the ones that really know the patients and know what's happening with them. You're often the first person who sees them if they become unwell or they've got any problems or anything like that. And the typical day, there isn't a typical day really. Often my day will start with I get in just before a ward round and prepare for the ward rounds. That's just reading the notes to see if anything's happened since I was last in, so overnight, seeing if there are any new admissions, making sure that we're up to date with test results, and I've got everything ready and I know what medicines the patient's on. And then we'll often have a ward round first thing in the morning, which again is just an opportunity for the team as a whole, so senior doctors, but also nursing staff, other physiotherapists, etc., just to go around, discuss each patient, ask them how they're getting on, and see how they're progressing with their health and their treatment, and to make any changes and suggestions, and consider like discharging people and things like that. And then after the ward round, we get a list of jobs to do, so it might be taking bloods, it might be writing discharge letters, it might be ordering investigations or reviewing them, and it's up to me to decide what order I do those in, so thinking about how I prioritise work, which things need doing beforehand, which are urgent to do, which can wait a bit, and that can take anything between a few hours to the whole day, but there's lots of other things to get involved in as well. I think the great thing about on a ward is you get the opportunity to go to clinics as well if it's something you're interested in, or you go to theatre as well if you've got a bit of time to spare. But also you can be in the middle of doing something and it'll be a horrendous noise and one of the patients has had a heart attack or something, and you've got to be able to deal with that as well, so it's a case of dropping everything and running to that. And it's just so varied, there's lots to do, but the majority of the work is writing notes, organising things, but also reviewing patients, and really sometimes I have to talk to relatives as well, or other healthcare professionals. There were the teams that we want to get involved in the patients. So yeah, so much in the day-to-day job. It's really interesting and really exciting. Each day is completely different, which is great. The hardest thing I think I did a rotation in pediatrics, so working with children, and we were called to a pediatric arrest, which is where the child's heart's not beating and they stop breathing, and that was really difficult for me actually, and it's something that happens a lot more in adults than it does in children, but it was really difficult actually, and I think it really highlighted that actually there are going to be times when people are really unwell and patients are sick, and actually that is the reality of what we sign up for when we become doctors, or when we say we want to be medical students, is actually having the possibility that we'll have to deal with people like that and be in those situations. I think what was great about it though was the fact that I was really supported by the team that was around me, so the other doctors who were dealing with that situation before and knew what was going on and were able to help me through it and just sit down and talk to me afterwards and make sure I understood what happened and why it happened, and just help me reflect on things like that. You do occasionally, and again, I guess it's difficult to say what a difficult patient is, but sometimes patients can be quite rude, they can be, just their personalities can be maybe not not gel well with mine, so I'm quite a quiet person. I don't particularly like to shout a lot or anything like that. And I think what's important is to sit down with them and discuss about why they're being like that. Some patients are worried and scared, and that's why it looks like they're being difficult. Sometimes it's just the way they are. I think what's important is that actually patients are all treated the same, and that's part of our job actually. It's just to put aside any differences we might have and think, well actually in real life I wouldn't maybe be friends with them, but actually no, I'm a professional, I'm providing a service for them, and I've committed to caring for this patient no matter what. So I think difficult patients are really challenging, can be really difficult, but it's through them that you develop as a doctor, you develop as a person as well, your communication skills, your ability to manage situations as well. It can be interesting as well to sit down and think about why people are like the way they are and what they are, but I think ultimately it's just about treating patients the same as if you would with anybody, but also knowing that there's lots of support out there if you are struggling with a patient or a relative or anything like that. I think the best part would be the people that I get to meet and work with. There's some incredible people that work for the NHS, and you get to meet so many people and work with lots of different people, not just other doctors, but nurses, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, dietitians, even people as well, like caterers, cleaners, secretaries. Everybody is just it's great to work with in the NHS, and they're all there for the same reason. They want to help people, and they want to. We've got a sort of common goal as well, and it's great the opportunity to get to work there. And also remember working with patients and relatives as well. It's just great, you get to meet so many people, and some patients you'll have for a long time, you get to know them really well. Others you just have for a short time, but it's great the idea that you can just interact with so many people, make so many new friends. And I like as well that everything's a bit different, every day is different. You don't get the same thing from one day to the next.